Okay, here we go. It's recording. Yay! Okay. So, hey team, thanks for hopping on, and thank you, Brittany, for agreeing to hop onto our team Zoom, even though you're not on our team. This company is always one team, one mission, and loving to, give each other tips and tricks. And I actually reached out to Brittany because she was announced on one of the corporate calls a few weeks ago, maybe a month ago, I don't remember exactly when it was, as they announced the top 10 Ruby makers, or however they called it. But basically, the top 10 people since January of this year who have brought in new distributors, and those new distributors have went Ruby. And that is amazing, especially when you look at the list of all the other ones. I'm pretty sure they were all like top money earners and like ambassador diamonds. And Brittany is a triple diamond, which is so amazing. And I love her story. I also I've met her upline once, I think it was like 4 years ago. They had an It Works cruise, and I earned my spot on the cruise as a Ruby. And Stacey Rapp is her name, and she was a double diamond, I think, on the cruise. And I just met her, and I kind of connected with her on Facebook, and I've just been following along with her. And then when I looked up Brittany after she was on the call, that's something that I love to do when they announce top leaders or top enrollers and stuff. I love to look up their names and follow them and kind of just, you copy the right cats, see what they're doing. And I saw that she was on Stacey's team. So I was really excited. I was just like, I'm just going to reach out to her because one thing that I'm working on myself too is duplication and getting new distributors going and promoting and enrolling and all of that. So I was like, we got to get her on the team or on the call. Hold on, let me mute.
To once and for all resolve that. I just like.
Okay. So I just had to get her on and just pick her brain to see what she is doing to help her new distributors go Ruby and enroll and everything. So yay, thank you, Brittany, for hopping on. Can you start with just telling us a little bit about your story, like before It Works, and kind of your story with It Works so far?
Yes. So it is so funny that you mentioned the It Works cruise, because I was actually with It Works once before this, back in like 2016, I think it was, or somewhere around there, but whenever the cruise was going on. And I was only in for like 3 months. I went Ruby. I quit. I was a quitter. I sucked. I gave up. It got hard, I feel like after you go Ruby, you're kind of like at that like standstill. You've exhausted your current network. And I was just like, yeah, I have a job. I'm good. But then I gained a bunch of weight. I got super big. I gained like 50 pounds, and I was following Stacey from back when I was with the company before. She wasn't my original upline, and I tried the coffee from her, and I lost 43 pounds, and I was like, okay, this is freaking amazing. I'm obsessed. Like, I have to share this with people. She asked me to join. I was like, yeah, that didn't work for me, but I'll just do it to get the free product. So I literally joined for free product, $150 shopping spree. I had no intention of quitting my job. I had no intention of retiring my husband from the oil field. No intention of having more babies because we couldn't afford it. We were literally paycheck to paycheck, so broke as a joke. But I joined, and as soon as I joined, I don't know what happened, but I just like caught the vision, because Stacey was just like, her story was inspiring. She was a stay-at-home mom of her 2 kids, single mom. She didn't have any other income. And I was like, wow, like, that's so cool. She literally just does this business. Like, I could totally make $200 a month. So I started working pretty hard. I went Ruby. I went executive in the first 2 weeks, Ruby in my first 30 days. And then I got pregnant with my second baby and had so many excuses that it was ridiculous. So I sat at Ruby. I took my husband's account Ruby in 60 days, and then I literally didn't go anywhere for like 4 months. And then my 5th month, my enroller, she asked me, do you have 1 foot in, 1 foot out? Like, what are you doing? Like, get it together or like, don't get it together. But I'm here to tell you, like, you're having excuses. And I hadn't had her tell me anything before. For that first 3 months, she was just like, hey, I'm just checking on you. I know you're pregnant, blah, blah, blah. Like, I'm so sick, just like I am now. But now I have a totally different mindset to take on these challenges, So she told me that. I just caught the vision and I started running, got my conference ticket, which is literally a game changer for my business. After I went to conference, it was like no stopping me. I was literally in it to win it, lifer. I was going to go ambassador one day and quit my job. So I went diamond in February, double diamond in March, and then I wanted to go presidential, but I lost my double diamond in May of 2018, 2 months after I hit presidential, which was like such a teardown for me. But I had my daughter May 5th, and she was 6 weeks early. She was in the hospital for about almost 2 months because she had some lung issues. So I gave myself, once again, excuses to not really work my business as wholeheartedly. I was still posting, I was doing all the things, but my mindset sucked. And I was going through a lot of postpartum depression, a lot of postpartum anxiety, and I was not taking care of myself, which is like such a big thing. I feel like in this business is just literally mindset. Like your mindset has to be strong or you cannot do this business. So finally, I think it was like maybe July, 2 months, my daughter was like 2 months old, and I was like, okay, I cannot keep sitting here. I was at executive, you guys, after going double diamond, sitting at executive, and I worked my butt off from July to January, and I still sat at executive every single month, but I kept pushing and I kept going because I saw where I could be with this company. And finally in January, I got my emerald back. February, I got my diamond and my double back. And then April, I took my husband's account double. May, I sat there. I was really working hard for triple, but I didn't hit it. June, I finally hit triple. So from January, I was paid as executive to June, I went triple diamond, which I literally, when I say I started over. I didn't have any workers on my team. So it was basically like I was a brand new distributor. So I took my whole 0 team to triple diamond in 6 months. So that's my story.
That is awesome. I love it. I actually started to just to earn $150 shopping spree, and was not planning to quit my job or anything like that. And because I kept going, and I also had my ups and downs, I've also lost ranks, had mindset issues, and I swear conference is what did it for me too. Like when I went to conference, I came back so fired up. I learned all the tips. I was surrounded by other people doing this. It wasn't just like me doing it, at home or whatever. So I know, unfortunately, conference is not going to be in person this year, you guys, but they are going to have an online event. So I really encourage everybody to get their tickets for the online conference, because literally it can change your business like it did mine and Brittany's too. So I love your story. So can you tell us a little bit about where that mind shift came in, and what you do for your personal development to help with your mindset? Because like you said, mindset is so important. And I tell people this business is 80% mindset, 20% skill. And unfortunately, people's mindset will take them out of this business before they even learn the skills, which is unfortunate. But yeah, so tell us a little bit about your personal development and what really switched your mindset.
Okay, so first off, I didn't know what personal development was when I joined this business. I'd never read a self-help book in my life or listened to a podcast, and I thought it was ridiculous, and I didn't need that until probably after I went double diamond. I told my leader I was doing all the things, and I bought the audiobooks, but didn't really pay attention to them. I really just thought I needed to do it to check it off my to-do list. And then once I got to double diamond, lost it and couldn't get myself back up, and I was working, but I felt like there was something missing. I was having a disconnect and I couldn't get on my feet with the business. And I was also, like I said, struggling with really bad postpartum depression. I started listening to this podcast called Empower Her Podcast, and it is another network marketer. She's not with It Work. She's with a different business. She doesn't often talk about her business, so you don't have to worry about poaching or anything like that if you offer it to your team. But it is so amazing. Every time I listen to her, she pumps me up. They're 10-minute, 15-minute podcasts, and she does 2 a week. So I do that every single day. I have one to listen to because she's been doing it for a long time. So there's past episodes. And she actually has a text line too, where she like sends motivational text to your phone. So I always get my team started on that right away. Yeah. So like twice a week, she's like sending you a motivational like quote or something. And it's not just like specifically to each person, like it's the same mass text, but it's just like you randomly get this inspirational quote to your phone. So I love it. It's awesome. So I also do audiobooks a lot, probably about one a month. Right now I'm just reading, what is it called? It Takes What It Takes. So that is just basically, it's geared towards talking about football, which is really weird, but it's like super amazing. You guys should definitely look it up. Another one I recommend is like Girl Wash Your Face was the first one I actually read that I paid attention to. Oh my gosh, you have it. It's so good, right?
I started reading it and it was a lot about football and I was like, I don't know if I can read this. I'm not a sports person. So I just moved on to a different one, but I'm glad to hear it.
No, you have
I
to
heard it was good, so I ordered it.
Yeah, so the first few chapters, because I listen to them because I'm so busy, I literally cannot sit down for 5 seconds without feeling like I need to do something else. So I listen to audiobooks while I'm like doing dishes or showering or whatever. So the first few chapters, I was like, okay, if I get to like chapter 5 and they're still just like yammering off about football and I can't connect with it, I'm going to stop listening. But then it got really good around like chapter 3 and I love it. So me and my team are actually doing like a book club on it right now. We're doing like chapters 4 through 6, but it's really, really good. You guys should definitely get it. And then what else have I read that's really good? Atomic Habits was one of my favorites. You guys should definitely read that. It just talks about like stacking habits that you want to have on top of habits you already have to create that discipline in your day. So I do the Empower Her podcast. I listen to some other like motivational podcasts on Apple. I just look up random stuff and I listen to it on YouTube sometimes, but just getting in personal development at least 2 times a day, because I feel like in the morning I like to get pumped and then by the afternoon I'm drained and I'm like, F the world, I'm tired of this, I don't want to do it anymore. Like not the business, but like, mom life is hard, guys. So then you have to just pump yourself back up, re-engage, reset your mind, and then keep going.
Yes, definitely. And, just even trying to fit it in, while you're cleaning the house and driving and stuff, like you don't have to necessarily sit down and just do that, as long as you can somehow fit it in. It is good to be able to like really absorb it, but definitely mindset is everything. So thank you for sharing that. That is awesome. I'm really excited to get back into reading that book now. Okay, so another question. So what does your day look like? Because I know you have 2 kids, you have one on the way, and you have a husband, so you have a family. So how do you juggle like family life, like craziness with kids, and working your business consistently and like helping your team?
So now I have a very set schedule, guys, because I'm a stay-at-home mom. I was able to quit my job and I was able to retire my husband. So we're a full-time family, but my life didn't always look like that. So I want to mention that first, because I know if I tell you guys what I do now, you're going to be like, well, I have a job and I do this and I can't sit down at all hours of the day and work my business. So when I had a job, and what I still do now consistently is a 5:30 a.m. power hour. And most of you are probably going to be like, I don't like to wake up. I'm not a morning person, but that's fine if you're not. Do it at night. But for me, that was very important because I did work a full-time job. My husband was in the oil field. He stayed 6 hours away. So I literally had zero help with our son. I was basically raising my son alone, working 40 hours, working the weekends, having to recruit my mom as daycare for the weekends because I worked literally all the time. I was pregnant, so I was really tired all the time. So if I did not get up and work my business at 5:30 in the morning and send out my messages, it was not going to happen because I came home at night, cooked dinner, put my son to bed, and I was like, yeah, no, I'm going to sleep. So that has been something that has stuck with me from full-time job to stay-at-home mom, because now that I am a stay-at-home mom, I would love to wake up whenever I want to because I have the luxury, but I don't because it just doesn't work out and I feel scatterbrained if I try to wake up when my kids wake up and get my stuff done. So another thing is when you are working this business, it's easy to feel like you're giving your business too much time and not enough to your kids. And that's why you joined. If you're a mom, most likely is to be with your kids, and you don't want to feel like you're giving your business everything and your kids not enough. So for me, it's important to do 5:30 a.m. to 7. I do my work. Literally every message I need to send for the day is out. All I have to do is respond to messages, post my business post that I drafted later in the day, do some TikToks, which I spend like 5 hours one time a month to take TikToks, and I don't do them again because I hate putting makeup on. So just literally prepare yourself content in the beginning of the month, wake up for an hour and a half in the morning, and you can literally live your day however you want to live your day. If you work your business in the morning and you have a full-time job, cool, you get to go to your job and not worry about it. Your stuff is done. If you don't have a job and you're a stay-at-home mom, cool, you get to spend time with your kids all day and chase them around. So that's my biggest tip. But if you're not hearing me out and you're like, no, I'm not a morning person, I'm not doing that, Brittany, you got to stay up late. Because my other biggest tip is, like, you have to have discipline regardless of what your schedule is, and you have to give yourself a no excuses mindset. And that's not something I had when I started the business, which is why when I went Ruby, I didn't go anywhere else after that for 4 months. And that's why when I went Double Diamond, 2 months later, I had my daughter and gave myself excuses once again. Once I decided, I got my personal development in check, and I decided to have a no excuses mindset. And I was like, this is what I have to do today, regardless of what my day, how my day goes, then you're going to be successful, because you have to make sure that there's non-negotiables. And there are some days that you're going to have some things that don't get checked off your list, but the KPI list is literally so simple. I don't know if you guys are using that, but I print it out and I use it every day. I check it off, and there's 10 things on there, guys. 10. You have to do those 10 things every day. Like, you have to, and it's going to take you an hour and a half. And if you don't have an hour and a half in your day, then you can't be successful here. And I know everybody does. So set aside time for your business. Wake up an hour early or go to bed an hour late, whatever works for you. If you're a super busy mom, you're not going to have time to sit down and do an hour and a half of work during the day while you're wiping butts and making meals and feeding people all day long. Even now, my husband's a stay-at-home dad, but I swear it's just like having a third child. So just make time for your business when you can be undistracted, because I feel like the worst thing to do is try to get it done throughout the day when you have to do other things, and then you feel scatterbrained, you feel like it's not working, you feel like the business is like taking over your whole life. You know what I mean? Does that make sense?
That makes total sense, because that's exactly how I've been feeling lately. When I went Double Diamond, I was getting up early before my kids went to bed and making sure, like, going through my friends list and making sure I got my haps up early in the morning. And I don't know why, I just kind of like stopped doing that, and I just started again, getting up at 5:30 and getting my stuff done, my messages out, just like you. And I felt so amazing. Like, I got my stuff out. I felt like you just feel less stressed throughout the day, and you're a little nicer to your kids and you don't feel like you're trying to juggle everything, and you can actually spend quality time like with your kids and not feel bad about it. So like when I actually had a break, like I'm working with my son right now with his school. So I kind of got my daughter situated, did a little bit with her, and then I went to help my son, and I'm kind of there to help guide him. But when he's doing his own thing is when I'm catching up to those messages that have been coming in from the morning. You guys don't feel like you have to respond to people right away. Like, people don't respond to us right away. They know we have a life. Don't feel like you're going to lose them if you don't respond to them right away. So getting up early and getting that out, and then just letting the messages come in and responding throughout the day when you have those little nooks and crannies is amazing. Like, it just literally changes your whole day, and you just feel so much more accomplished already in the beginning. And I was able to like get cleaning done before my husband got home, and he was happy about that. So that made for a good night. And then like in the evening, I do stay up a little bit later just to make sure that I finish my task list and get that done. But like she said too, like, I also had a job when I first started. I didn't quit my job until like 2.5 years into the business. And I was working, like, I feel like, I don't know, it's like, even being home, like we don't have much time because of, you know, family and everything. And when I was working, I would even get up a little early and get some stuff done. But I really, really worked during my breaks and during my lunch hours. And then I definitely stayed up like an hour later after, you know, we went to bed. If you guys want to be paid like a business, you have to treat it like a business. If you want to be paid like a hobby, then treat it like a hobby. But you have to be disciplined, and it does take time. It does take, you know, learning and like she said, the atomic habits, like fitting in habits of the business with habits in your day is really, really, really helpful. Once you get into that habit, it makes it so much easier. And then obviously the consistency, and yes, we started using the task list too. And it's amazing, you know, and that's why they like have you keep track of it, because literally results are in consistency. If you do the task list one day and you don't do it for 3 or 4 days later, you're not going to be seeing the results that you would if you do it every day consistently. And don't kick yourself in the butt if you miss a couple tasks. It's just a great way for you to be able to keep track of, you know, how your week went. And maybe if you didn't enroll as many customers or as many distributors, you can kind of look back at those tasks and see like, okay, yeah, I kind of slacked here. Maybe I need help. Maybe I'm just doing like the adding and the easy stuff, but not really the more hard stuff for us to do in our mindset, which is messaging, which is what's going to get us more of the results. And if you guys are having trouble with some of those things, obviously make sure that you're reaching out to your leader to help you with messaging and all of that. So yay, that was awesome. Thank you. And then, so you pretty much, so what do you do? So basically you do your task list, your KPI task list for the business every day, which we all know is like the 6 lists pretty much that, you know, the personal development, post, message, follow up, interact, and add to your network. Those are the 6 things you do every day. And you guys, if you want to take it to another level, you could do multiple of, you know, do your task list like twice a day. Like if you're really pushing, or even 3 times, you can do it more than just the minimum if you are pushing to promote faster. So since you were announced as a top Ruby enroller or Ruby maker or whatever they call it, you brought in the most distributors that went Ruby since 2020, which is so amazing. That tells me that you are really good at duplicating what we do onto your team, and like them enrolling customers and them promoting. So can you tell us just a little bit about like what you do to teach them, like any system that you have, like how you get them started, how you get their goals going, helping like with their mindset, which I know is a big thing when a lot of new distributors get started. Like it's mostly in their mindset, which is why, you know, they might quit before they really get started. So can you just give us any and all the tips that you have that have helped you help your team promote to Ruby?
Yes, definitely. So a couple of things. First off, I literally was so shocked when I got announced for that, because I was like, how the heck do I have the most rubies and diamonds in the whole freaking company for 7 months? Like, that's just insane to me. And it's because I didn't focus on that. Like, it wasn't my goal to like have the most diamonds and the most rubies. Like, that wasn't my goal. My goal was to help other people make money. And that's my biggest tip for you guys. Focus on your distributors' paychecks and their goals, and not your own. Because me personally, when I joined this business, it was all about me. It was all about my paycheck. It was all about me buying a house and me quitting my job and me becoming a stay-at-home mom and me signing distributors so I could grow my team and go diamond. But after I went double and I lost it all and my whole team quit, and that's nobody's fault. Like, you might have had recently a bunch of people quit on your team, and that's not your fault. It's never your fault. It's their fault, and it's only their fault because they were quitters. But you do have to focus more on building a relationship with the distributors that you have, because I didn't do that. I just was, you need to, get your 400 BV, you need to get your 2 customers, you need to do this. But I never really focused on why they were even here. I never even knew what their goal was with the business. Of course, we chat with our potentials when they are a potential, but when they join, you need to treat them like they're still a potential, like you're still trying to get them, not they're there, they're a fast start, I'm done, we're good. No, they're still your potential, like the whole time. Like treat them like your bestie, not when you're just trying to sign them, but when you have them. That's one of my biggest tips. Okay, so FaceTime your new distributor and ask them, like, I know you said you want to join because you want to make $200 a month, but why do you want to make $200 a month? What is your goal? What do you want to do? Are you a mom? Do you have kids? What do you have, a job that you want to quit, or are you just looking to go on vacation? Are you looking to build a savings? Do you have debt you want to pay off? Like figure out what their real why is, not like their fake why, because most people give you a fake why when they join. You want to figure out like what's really underneath, get to know them, figure out their life, and then just run with them. Like pull out a Ruby chart. I treat my new distributors like they are ready to go Ruby this month. Like that, I have high expectations when my distributors join, and I know not everybody is going to go Ruby in 30 days, but I feel like when you hold them to a higher standard and you don't just treat them like a 400 box, it is going to always work out better. And that is my thing, is I think the reason that I had the most rubies and diamonds is because I just pulled out those charts for them. And I'm like, hey, you're going Ruby, let's do it. You're going to get your 6 customers in your first 4 days, and then we're going to get 3 distributors in your second week, and we're going to go Ruby this month, okay? And then when it didn't happen, they may be a little bit disappointed, maybe, but you're going to run with them, and you're going to tell them that, hey, I didn't go Ruby in 30 days either. It's okay. That's just the goal. We're going to keep running. You're going to go Diamond in 90 days. And that's another goal, is like Ruby in 30 days, Diamond in 90 days. So those are the 2 things that I preach to my team. I get them on power hours immediately. So I have a 5:45 a.m. power hour every day for my team. Not a lot of people get on it because most people are not as early risers as I am, and I have a lot of team in Florida, and I'm in Texas, so they're like 3:45 a.m. and I'm 5:45, and so they're like, yeah, no girl, I'm not getting up at 3 a.m., which is fine. One of my diamond leaders has like an 8 a.m., so that's good for her. She can do the late ones and I do the early ones, and we just make sure that they're getting on a power hour. So I put a poll in my team chats every morning, and one of the tasks is to just get on a power hour. And that's just because I feel like accountability will help them get it done. If you just tell them to do things, they're probably not going to do it. I know for me, I was a runner and go-getter when I joined, so I really didn't have to be told to message. I just did it on my own. But I really have not had very many people join this business and do something without being told to do it, or do something without being told to do it multiple times. Like most of the time when you tell them to message, they're like, yeah, I'm going to send my messages. Cool. Okay, cool. But they don't do it, guys. You have to handhold them for, I'd say, the first 30 days. I do a newbie power 30 right away. Every time somebody joins my team, I do a 30-minute power session with them. So basically it's like a power hour, but it's like dumbed down to the max. So we just go over host to post. I get them to put up a giveaway post. I get them to send out 30 host to post messages so that they're getting people to post for them right away. This is literally the first thing you do when you join my team. So I just saw the one comment. Sorry if I'm not catching all of the chat messages, but I just saw that one pop up. So it could be just with them if there's only one person who joined, but if I had somebody join, sorry, there's a dog next door, guys. I guess it doesn't like me talking back here in its territory. Anyways, so if I had somebody join and my team had somebody join and their downline had somebody join and there's like 5 newbies in one day, it's all 5. If it's one person, it's one person. If it's 3 people, it's 3 people. Normally I don't like to do more than like 5 because I feel like then it's just like they don't know what's going on. You're trying to keep track of too many people. And like when I say I dumb it down, like I literally go over how to add your phone number to an Instagram story, how to sign up a loyal customer, how to post to your story, how to feed your Instagram stories to your Facebook stories, how to, what else? do a giveaway post. We just literally go over the simplest things that you might tell somebody to do, but like they don't get it. And a confused mind says no. So if you tell your distributor to do something and they're confused, they're not going to do it at all. So spending that 30-minute one-on-one time with them to teach them to do host to post, which I don't know about you guys, but I get all my customers from host to post. So that's the most important thing for my distributors to learn. Was game changer. When I started doing that, my distributors were getting their 6 on their own. I wasn't used to that. I was used to having to place for fast starts. Every single distributor I signed, I felt like they might sign one customer in 30 days, but probably not. So game changer, getting them to do host to post, spending the 30 minutes with them. I do it for my team too, and one of my diamonds does it as well, but normally me and her, we do it. We don't have like emeralds or rubies do their own power 30s, just because I don't want to put that responsibility on people who aren't ready to have too much responsibility, and then they may be caught up in leadership versus focusing on their own tasks, and then getting them on FaceTime, figuring out what their why is, and just running with them and treating them like they're not brand new, like they're held to the standard of like just doing all the things.
Yes. Oh my gosh. I have so many notes. I love all of your tips, and it's things that like I've heard too from, other calls and stuff, but I myself too need to get disciplined with making sure that I'm, doing all of that with my new distributors. And I love the power hour ideas, like really being on there and like kind of walking them through each thing and doing it like real time instead of just messaging back and forth too. That definitely does help. One thing that I personally struggle with is juggling my own business and like remembering to reach out to all of my new distributors kind of like on a daily basis, because a lot of times they don't come to you, like you have to reach out to them. So do you have any like tips on like what you do to remind yourself to make sure that you're checking in with them a lot?
Yeah, so I feel like that's something that we all struggle with. I'm going to be honest, I will forever struggle with that. One of the things that helps me a lot is just reverting back to that hour and a half of me business time in the morning. So I feel like when I get my stuff done in the morning and my tasks are done and I'm not like struggling to get my own tasks done throughout the day, I can be more focused on my team. I can be a better leader. I can be a nicer leader and not like just ignore you for 5 hours because I'm trying to get my stuff done still. Because I'm done with my stuff. I'm ready to like leap into leadership, get with you. What do you need? How can I help you? Let's do host to post together. You don't know how to send distributor messages? Here's the message. Send it to 15 people. Let me know when you're done and I'll help you with responses. I can't do that whenever I'm still getting my stuff done. So making sure that you're consistent with getting your stuff done so you can be present for your team. Another thing is I am like a very much control freak. So I feel like when I sign distributors, of course I need to check in with them, but I also like try to also check in with my distributors, which I have a huge team, so it's kind of hard. But I do something called a cab tracker. So if you're not a diamond or above, you probably don't know what cabs are, but basically it's just extra bonuses you get for distributors. So I pull that report every first of the month. And so that just shows my distributor enrollments and my team's distributor enrollments. And I keep that as an Excel spreadsheet on my desktop and I check it every day. So when I finish my 7 a.m., 5:30 to 7 a.m. tasks, I pull that up. I see who's coming up for their 30 days, who still doesn't have one customer, maybe who has 5 and needs one more that I can reach out to and say, hey, let's do some work together today. You can't reach out to everyone because it's too much and you're going to overwhelm yourself, because chances are, I'm sure you have a huge team too, is you have 30, 40 people on that cab tracker list and you can't reach out to 40 people a day. You can't reach out to 20 people a day or you're going to burn yourself out. I know for me, when I get in a mood to like reach out to distributors and I do more than like 10 and then I get like 15, 20 messages back, I am overwhelmed. And then I'm like, yeah, I'm done with my phone. I got to put it away and not respond to anybody for like 7 hours. And that is not good. So reach out to 5 people, make a list of your personally enrolled as well, so you know that you need to focus on them. And after about 2 weeks of them being in the business, they can come off that list. You don't need to reach out to them every day. But I'd say the people that are in their first 2 weeks, those are the people you have to reach out to every day. If you're a high enroller, it's going to be a little hard for me, like anywhere between 15 to 25 distributors a month. And so at any given time, I could have 10 people to reach out to a day. But it's not always going to be like that. During this season, I'm not signing as 25 people, maybe more like 10 to 15. So I could have 5 people that I need to reach out to every day, and then 5 more people, but 5 people come off that list, you know? So just keeping track of who's where. I have an Excel spreadsheet that shows what step they're on, and that helps me personally. So I'm speaking to the leaders here because this is going to sound confusing if you're not really at that point yet, but basically, like, have they done their welcome post? Have they done a Power 30? Have you FaceTime them? Have you done distributor messaging? Have they gotten their 6 customers? Okay, have we pulled out a Ruby chart? And so I highlight the box for each distributor, what they've done so far. And so I know when I pull that sheet, I can tell myself exactly where Brittany, Kenzie, Amanda, April are in their journey. Otherwise, I'm going to look and I'll be like, okay, I have to reach out to these 5 people. I don't exactly remember what I taught them last. Let me go scroll through our messages and figure out what I need to do with them today. No, you know exactly where they're at. You know exactly how to check in with them and figure out what you need to do with them.
Oh my gosh, I love that, because I literally just started like making an Excel spreadsheet for my new distributor tracker to see what I've done with them too. And I never finished it. I need to just freaking finish it and print it out, because I know it'll be so freaking helpful.
Yeah.
So, and that is something that like is one of the reasons why I wanted to start getting up earlier before my kids got up too, because I wanted to get my stuff done before the kids got up. So then later on, I could focus on my team and already feel accomplished with getting a lot of my stuff done too. And then I also added on my task list, I added 2 more things. I added check-in with new distributors, and I also added follow-up, because for some reason they don't have follow-up on the task list, and that's like one of the most important things. So I put follow-up on there too, because I know how important that is too. So, okay. So you said that you enroll 15 to 25 distributors a month. Hit us up with your tips on enrolling distributors.
Honestly, just being you. That is my biggest tip. Consistency, being you. Don't try to be somebody else. Yes, we all steal people's posts. We do it every day. I do it. I take people's posts and I use it, but I use it as a draft. I don't copy and paste it exactly. I change it to fit my life, because when I first joined, I signed distributors. I went diamond, I went double, whatever, but I wasn't signing mass distributors, and that's why it took me a while to regain my double. Once I decided to just kind of go all in with the business, which, like I said, that was around like July of 2018. So from July of 2018 to January is when I was like perfecting my brand and like who I was and figuring out me, because I was going through that postpartum depression. And, you know, I feel like as a mom anyways, you just really don't know who you are anymore. I decided to just be me and like not hide the flaws and the craziness. And like I do TikToks and I rewatch them. I'm like, gosh, I am such a weirdo. I look so bad. I can't believe I did that. I'm not really a millennial. I can't be doing that dance in front of people, but I do it anyways, and people love it and people connect with you. So people like you need to join you. You can't, speak to the people who aren't going through what you're going through or in the stage of life that you're in. I'm not saying that you can't have somebody who's 50 years old join your team when you're 25. I'm not saying that you can't have somebody who's a college student join your team when you're a mom, because I do it. I have college students. I have older women that aren't in the same stage as me, but the majority of my team is going, doing the mom life, doing the 25-year-old life, trying to figure yourself out. So just be you. Connect your posts to your day-to-day. Don't just do generic like distributor posts. Do your post geared to whatever your day is. Like today, my post was literally just about drinking coffee on my porch with my husband, because that's why I do this business, so I can have memories and moments and time freedom. And it's so simple. Sometimes my posts are so lengthy and talk about my whole story, but some days they're just that simple. And it really works to just be yourself. Also, TikTok is a huge thing I do. So I'd say, I do message for DTs. I will talk about that. So I sign about 50% of my distributors from TikTok, and I know TikTok may be going away soon, but I do Instagram Reels. When I do my TikTok, I post it to Reels. So now that's great that they have that, because if TikTok goes away, we're good. We have Instagram Reels now. So doing those videos, I know you may feel like it's out of your comfort zone. I definitely still feel like that. Like sometimes I do the dance 17 times and I'm like, I still look dumb, whatever, I'm posting it, it's fine. But you would be surprised at how people could connect with you, because they might have done that dance too and they're like, dang, I look so dumb, I can't believe I just did that. So just do the things. Don't feel like you're not confident, because confidence is key, and your confidence is growing through your business. So whenever I joined this business, I was the most not confident person. I had lost 43 pounds, like I said, but I still was never comfortable in my skin. I had body image issues. I had issues with thinking I was a bad mom. Like, I literally am the best at beating myself up for everything. So I just didn't want to get out there. I used Snapchat filters with the hearts around my head for the first 6 months of my business. And my leader finally told me, stop doing that. That's not good. You need to get a preset and take real pictures of yourself. So when I did, and I just started being myself and being okay with the fact that I have acne all over my face and it's fine, no big deal, I started signing distributors. And I think that is the biggest thing that a lot of people don't do when they come into this business, is they try to not be themselves because they're following that top leader who's perfect. And that is the Instagram highlight. Like, nobody's life is perfect. Your life isn't perfect, but it's perfect for you. So just be you, do your posts, do your TikToks, do your stories, talk on your story. That is a huge thing. When I started doing videos on my story, just talking about the business, and it doesn't have to be 8 to 10 slides. It could be one slide talking about, oh my gosh, I just picked my son up from school and I feel so blessed that I'm able to be here every single day to pick him up from school. That's it. Something simple. Or some days you might do an 8 to 10 slide video talking about how you quit your job, or how you're working a job but now you're supplementing your income with $500 a month, or insert income disclosure statement there. But just do stories, do a lot of video stories, because people can relate more with your voice and your in-person status versus just a business slide that says, hi, I'm Brittany and I work for a health and wellness company and I quit my job and pay all my bills with this business, So just do the in-person stuff. So like TikToks, videos, go live on Facebook, go live on Instagram, IGTV or whatever it's called. And I don't do a lot of Snapchat, guys, because I feel like it doesn't work, but Instagram and Facebook, just put your face wherever you can put your face, because it will pay off. Also, making an application is something that I did recently. I didn't have it before, and I just checked it today because I forgot about it for a little bit there, and I have 44 new applications that I need to go through. So I had no idea. I'm like, my husband's like, that's stupid. Nobody's going to do that application thing that you did. And I'm like, look, 44 people think my application's not stupid. People actually want this business. You just have to go out and find those people. That's our job.
Definitely. Yes. And you guys, I haven't done TikTok yet. I haven't done the reels. I try to go on my stories. I try to do some videos, but before all of that, like, I was still signing distributors. So know that you can do it without all that, but doing that stuff will definitely help you. But I am still trying to show my face. And back when live started to be a thing, even though I was scared as heck to do it, I stepped out of my comfort zone and I started doing it. And I'm doing it a little bit more, and that's definitely helping. But like she said, like people seeing you, because people want to join people who they feel like they know, like, and trust. And people want to join people who are consistent. So if you are not posting consistently about the business, then they're less likely to join you. If they, you know, most likely people have at least a few distributors on their Facebook. And who are they going to join? They're going to join the person who's posting consistently about it, who's excited about it. Even if you haven't quit your job and you don't have posts like that, you guys, you can post about putting gas in your car, paying for gas and groceries. I used to put gas and groceries on credit cards, and I'll post about how now I can pay those with cash and not have to put them on credit cards and, you know, pay interest on gas and groceries, which is so silly. So there's so many different ways to get distributors. Even like messaging, like she said that you message for distributors, obviously, because it's on our task list too. But like even messaging people who have posted for you, that's one of my favorite ways to ask people about the business. You know, hey, thank you so much for putting up that post for me. What you did is exactly what I do, except I get paid for it. Would you like some more information? You guys, if you end the question, not would you be interested, but like, would you like more info? A lot of people are like, sure, I'll take more info. And then you've got a potential distributor to write down on your list. And most people don't join the first time that you talk to them. Like almost barely anybody does, especially when it comes to becoming a distributor. You know, they have to think about it. I didn't. I thought about it for months. So that's why showing you and keep showing, like, you know, your little paychecks that are coming in, you know, posting about, you know, what they're doing, posting that you're, you know, enrolling some customers, and things like that is going to kind of be like a follow-up with those potential distributors. They're going to keep seeing that, and they're going to be thinking more and more about it. And then eventually, you know, they might come to you, or you might sign them, or a deal might come up. So making sure that you're keeping track of all your potential distributors on one list, so that when you do have deals, you can reach out to them, like, deals on the kit. And the more that you have, you know, the more that you're going to end up enrolling too. So that was awesome. Thank you so much for sharing that. And then what are
I did
your
forget to answer Kenzie's question about messaging. Sorry, I totally got sidetracked. I'm literally like a scatterbrain, and I can't remember anything if it's not on a to-do list. So I do obviously message, and I do exactly what Crystal said, is I message people who do host to post for me, and I normally do it right after they host post for me. And I message 20 people obviously a day for the business, regardless, like just, you know, reach outs to people on Instagram and Facebook. Another thing I do every single day is messaging people who like my business post. And I know a lot of you are going to say, well, I don't get interaction, or I have the same 20 people message or like my post every single day. And the key to that is interaction. And I know that is the most lengthy, time-consuming, annoying part of the KPI list, because it takes a lot of time if you're doing it properly. Interacting with 25 people on Facebook can take you 20 to 30 minutes if you're doing it properly. If you're going to their page and engaging with their post, liking their profile pictures, commenting on a couple pics, then saying, oh my gosh, I'm replying to your story and saying, oh my gosh, that food looks so good, or I love your hair, or whatever. But like, it is the most important part, I feel like, to gaining distributors, because if you are not building relationships with people, you're not going to sign, or you're going to sign, but you're not going to have that connection. And so then when they join you, they're not going to be as comfortable coming to you or learning with you or being a distributor with the company. Like, they have to trust you. So every day I interact with the 25 on Facebook, 25 on Instagram, and I may not have 25 new people to message every day from my business post, but most of the time I'd say at least half my messages go out to people who liked my post. So I don't even have to really go search for potentials. So interact, and then your messaging comes to you.
Yes, I love that. And you guys, don't be afraid to message and ask people, because if you guys have been in and you have been, you know, hopping on Zooms or listening to calls, like, you know how many lives this business has changed. So don't feel like you're annoying them or anything like that. You are offering them an opportunity that could literally change their family's life. And a lot of people are open even just to a little, you know, more info. Even, you know, not everybody wants to quit their job, but even just a little bit of extra income. So don't be afraid to reach out to people, because a lot of times you think, oh my gosh, like, she doesn't want to do this. She, you know, she has a good job and stuff, but you'd be surprised how many people are actually interested if you ask them that. So thank you for that. Also, there was a comment in the chat. There's a new distributor. She's about 2 months in, and she feels like she's doing all of the things, but she's not actually enrolling the customers. So obviously, if you built a lot of rubies, you probably have been, enrolling a lot of volume and a lot of customers and stuff. So can you give us some tips on not only how you get your customers, but how you really seal the deal and get that order with them?
Yes. So mostly, like I said, I do host a post, and I think a lot of people are like, well, I can't get 10 hosted posts up a day. Nobody responds to me. Nobody comments on my giveaway posts, and that's where the interacting comes in again, because the more interaction you do with different people, the more people you have seeing your giveaway posts, the more people you have to ask to host a post for you. And then that brings in their network, so that you're not just reaching out to your network, you're getting other people's networks, which is amazing. Another thing is just consistency. So you may have been here planting seeds for 60 days, but the day that you plant the tree is not the day that you pick the fruit. So it feels daunting sometimes. And for me, even in this season, I'm not signing as much as I was before. I'm still signing. And a lot of my team is like, how are you signing? I feel like I'm in a drought. And I'm like, but I've been consistent forever. Like, you will never see me not post on my story unless it's my Sabbath, which is Sunday. Okay. And that I even tell my viewers, I tell them, hey, it's my Sabbath, like I won't be on today. So they're not like, oh, this girl's inconsistent, I'm not going to buy her product because I didn't see her today. So consistency, because not only do distributors not want to join you if you're not consistent, but customers don't want to be your customer if you're not consistent. Okay. So consistency is key. Giving it time is key, because if you're not giving it time, you're going to quit before your fruit grows, and somebody else is going to be there to pick it. I'm going to be there to pick it. Crystal's going to be there to pick it. And those customers are going to buy eventually, just maybe not from you because you're going to give up too quickly, and not specifically to you. I'm not saying you're giving up too quickly, but just give it time and keep doing it. And if you're not using the products yourself, I don't know if you are, I don't know you personally, but you have to. That is literally one of the most important parts. You need to pick 3 products that you love. If you're not looking to lose weight, that's awesome. Get on collagen, use stretch mark cream, use the skincare line, use whatever it is that works for you, and talk about it all the time. Me, I'm a big coffee drinker because I'm a mom and I can't function without caffeine. So I'm talking about my coffee every single day. And when I was so sick in this pregnancy for the first, still I'm pretty sick, so I'm not really drinking a lot of coffee, but I couldn't drink coffee for the first 10 weeks. And so I adapted to the Reds and Hydrate. And that's something I had never talked about on my story before, but it's something that started helping me with my morning sickness. And so I started selling Reds and Hydrate because I was talking about it. And I'd never sold a whole thing of Hydrate ever before. I've sold samples of it, but I'd never sold it before because I never talked about it. So that's literally proof of whatever you're talking about, whatever you're using, people are going to buy. So if you're using a product and not talking about it, talk about it. If you're not using a product, you're not talking about it because you're not using it, then you need to start. You need to run your auto shipment so that you can get products on hand and share with people, because stories are cool, but facts tell. So if you love it and you're showing that you love it and you're excited about it, just like potential distributors are going to join you if you're excited, potential customers are going to buy from you if you're excited and you're telling them oh my gosh, this coffee changed my life. I can't believe it. I literally never drank coffee before, but I'm obsessed with this. It gets me through my day. My mental focus is through the roof. Just imagine listening to somebody talk like that on their story every single day. Eventually, one of these days, you're going to try that dang coffee. And it may not be for 6 months, but you're going to try that dang coffee. So just be consistent, plant the seeds, do the things, be loud, and post all the wins too. So if one of your teammates signs a customer and you're like, wow, I haven't signed a customer in 3 weeks, if they're not cool with it, don't do it. But most of my team is we share, take a screenshot of their customer's enrollment and put it on your story, because people will buy from you also if they see other people buying it. So just be excited, just post about the products, and I guarantee you'll get customers. There's no way you won't sign if you just keep going and plant the seeds.
Yes, definitely. And as far as like sealing the deal with customers, I know follow-up is so important because a lot of people get busy and they forget to respond. So personally, I try to follow up with everybody that I talked to the day before, whether we were talking about products and the conversation kind of stopped, or whether they said they were going to post for me and they didn't. I follow up with that to get those more posts up. So I always try to personally, like today's Wednesday, so I go through my messenger, and anything that says Tuesday, I'm like looking at it and following up every single thing, because following up is really important. But how do you like sign customers? I know for me, like just sending out website is like has not been good for me. Like people don't order 99% of the time if you just send them to your website. Like for me, it's been, talking to them about what products they want, or what goals they have, what products, recommending the products, telling them about the price, the loyal customer program. And then I personally like to get their information because I feel like that's better to seal the deal. And most people, it's crazy, but most people will give you their information. So what do you do to kind of like seal the deal, or any special follow-up messages that help you get customers?
So I don't ever send somebody my website unless they tell me I'm not giving you my card info. I always sign my customers, and maybe 1 out of 20 people won't do it. But like you said, you'd be surprised how many people are like, hey, here's the card info, put the order in for me. Because if you act like it's normal, it's normal. But if you act hesitant, then they're going to be like, ooh, that's kind of weird. I'm not going to give her my card info. So just like go into it, assume the sale. With getting card info, at least don't send your website out. I have so many new distributors who they're like, okay, I sent my website to 20 people and nobody ordered. And I'm like, no, what did you do? Don't do that. Let's just like send me screenshots. Let me help you. Explaining the loyal customer program in a way that they can, one, understand it, because you don't want to have somebody who's locked into 3 months and like they're like, I had no idea this was what you were signing me up for, even though you clearly told them. And just giving it to them as like it's the biggest deal of the year. Like, oh my gosh, this coffee is $80, but I'm able to get it to you for $49. Isn't that insane? And it's pick 2 for whatever right now, whatever the special is, or it's BOGO right now. So just, and it's today. It's BOGO today. It's 90-day challenge today. I have this 1 spot left today. Like, I don't ever say, oh yeah, I have endless spots of loyal customer program and I can get you signed up whenever you're ready. I tell them if they say they don't have money till Friday, I'll save you the spot till Friday. I'll save you the spot until the 15th when you get paid. So you make it sound super exclusive, such a good deal, like they can't miss it. And then when they stop responding to you because you followed up so many times, just interact with them like crazy and be their best friend, because they're going to eventually message you back. I swear everything I say comes back to interacting, but I promise you guys it's because this business is built on relationships. And I can tell you one reason why it didn't work for me the first time I joined is not only because I was a quitter, but also because I didn't build relationships. I was spammy and I just wanted to make a sale. Now I'm like, truly, I want to help these people lose weight because I lost the weight and it helped me so much that I want to change other people's lives with these products. So don't just send a generic follow-up message either. That's one of my biggest tips, is like, there's no secret follow-up message. I have a follow-up script that I send my team every Friday, but I clearly state that they should voice message these follow-ups, because if you're voice messaging, it's not going to be the same every single time. You're probably going to mention like what the reasoning was that they wanted to get this product, or, oh my gosh, I know you wanted to lose that 30 pounds and I'm so excited to help you do that. Let's get you started. Or, I know you have those stretch marks, girl, I feel you. Let's get you started on the stretch mark cream. Like, talk to them, voice message, voice message, voice message, voice message. Okay. And like Crystal said, keep track of your follow-ups, because if you're not following up, somebody else is going to. They're going to order from somebody. They probably have 5 people on their page that are from It Works, like she said. But who are they going to order from? The person who's excited, the person who's posting every day, and the person who messages them to follow up with them every single Friday. That annoying girl in their inbox every single Friday. Of course, if you've followed up with them 4 times and they still haven't responded, give it a month, whatever, but keep following up. I have a list, a paper list, but I do a lot of collections on Facebook and Instagram. I don't know if you guys use that, but I am always gone on Fridays. I swear. Like, I'm a stay-at-home mom. I don't leave my house ever, but it seems like Fridays I'm always not home. So I have my Instagram collections, and it's like PDTs for April, PDTs for March, PDTs for August, and then I have my PLCs one for every month. And then I have my follow-up in whatever month. If they haven't responded to me in ages, then I add them to a different list. And so then it makes it so easy because you can go to this collections list and you can just go down the list, go to their messages, voice message them because you know what you were talking to them about. Now that you know they were a PDT in this month or they were a PLC in this month. And so it just makes it so much easier to follow up.
Oh, I love that. I'm taking so many notes. That is so amazing. Voice messaging. Yeah, it's scary at first, you guys, but it is so helpful. And they get to hear your excitement. They get to hear you're a real person, that you care. And even if things are crazy in the background, that's okay because that shows you're a real person. So I love that. And I love the saved collections because I haven't done that myself and I haven't even thought about doing that for like potentials either. So thank you so much for all of that. I think that's pretty much it for questions that I had for you. If anybody else has any questions, feel free to just unmute yourself and ask or post it in the chat. Let's see. What Brittany said is saying is true. I had 5 It Works distributors in my inbox, but I chose Crystal because of all those things. Oh, that makes me feel so awesome. Thank you. That is
like
awesome.
I literally had like 5 different distributors that were like, you know, you should try It Works. And like you could tell that they were determined, but you could see more determination from Crystal. And this is not my first direct sales company. I've spoke with Crystal privately. I also sell Scentsy. So I've done direct sales before, so you've got to be passionate about it. And you could definitely see the passionate in Crystal versus the other distributors, which is why ultimately I signed up underneath Crystal, because you could tell her determination and her passion for the company itself and building her business and going far with it. And that's something that people are going to want to be behind, is someone who ultimately wants to go far and further themselves.
Yes, thank you for sharing that. Oh my gosh, that makes me feel so good. And that's a great tip for you guys all. Like, yeah, I know I might post about like how I've been able to quit my job and stuff, but I enrolled distributors back when I was working my full-time job. And, you know, I posted about having extra income for, you know, babysitters and all of that other stuff too. So like she said, like the passion and your consistency is what helps people want to join you instead of somebody else, and you not wanting to quit. And like, seriously, the consistency is huge. So thank you for sharing that.
And it doesn't matter whether it's like It Works company or it's another company, because like for Scentsy, I've been with Scentsy for 5 months and I have a team of 6 with Scentsy. And and those people have wanted to sign up underneath me with that company as far as, because I'm doing things like you guys are doing here, where like I'm excited just by talking or being on the Zoom call tonight. I'm excited to further my It Works business as well, because of all of the things that Brittany had to say tonight. Like it's crazy how far you can take something like this. You're like, oh well, I'm gonna do it just for a hobby, and then you ultimately can end up quitting your job.
Yeah, that's so exciting. Thank you for sharing that with us, Brittany. I'm going to pop in and ask a question because I wanted to ask it earlier when you were already on the topic, but I didn't know how to word it to type it in the chat. I'm like, I'll just save it for the end. So one of them is when you were talking about how when you get a new distributor started and you're like, I'm just going to assume that you have like these high expectations and you're like, I'm going to assume that everybody wants to shoot off to Ruby in their first 30 days. And I love how you said 6 loyal customers, we're going to get those in 4 days. And then we're going to enroll your 3 distributors and then, you know, moving forward. So do you, like when you're having this FaceTime and all of that stuff with them, because that's what I do with my newbies too. I'm always like, let's hop on a Zoom or something. And I always tell them, I'm like, it's quick, 15 minutes, let's hop on, let's answer some questions, let's get to know each other a little bit. Because most of us, right, are like signing people that we don't know at this point. And so during that 15 minutes, I'm just like answering their questions, getting to know their why, all that stuff. But are you legitimately like, all right, girl, like your first goal, like this month, you're going to be doing this, and you're like showing them Ruby, and you're like, hey, this is Ruby. Your first goal is the shopping spree. We're going to do this in 4 days. And then I'm going to move on to distributors? Or like, how does that conversation go a little bit more, if you don't mind elaborating on that a little bit?
Yeah, so I do it actually kind of in increments, because I have tried to do like a newbie like FaceTime, like let's get going, let's talk about Ruby, and it's just like so confusing for somebody who's brand new. So when I FaceTime them, it's just strictly for me to get to know them and figure out why they're here, what they're doing, what are they going to be here for, like what is their goal, and then just telling them like, hey, I'm here for you, let's get you on a newbie Zoom so we can get you going, do your adventure post, I invited you to the team pages, like just basic stuff, so quick. But after their 30-minute Zoom, so their 30-minute power, like power hour, but only 30 minutes for newbies, I'm messaging them every day, So after that, that's whenever I normally at the end of mine, I tell them like, okay, so your first goal is to get your 6 customers in 4 days. We just did host to post. That's how you're going to get those 6 customers. And then we're moving on to distributors. Once you get your 6, I'm going to send you a message and we're going to start working on distributors. Your goal is Ruby in 30 days. And so normally I can kind of feel somebody out and figure out whether they're going to get 6 customers pretty quickly, or if they're going to kind of, not do much within that first 24 hours after the 30-minute session, because they're either going to be sending me a ton of screenshots because they're getting a ton of hosted posts up and they're having conversations, or they're not going to send me zip, and that means they didn't do it. So if they didn't do anything, I don't mention Ruby at all, because I don't want to bring them up to here when they're not even doing this, because I feel like that's kind of going to push them away. I'm like, hey, let's do this, let's do this, let's do this. Like I'm chasing them, but most of the time those people are sending me screenshots. And then after they get 1 customer or so, I'm like, oh my gosh, that's awesome. You're so close to your first goal. And we're going to get you to Ruby this month. I send them the Ruby chart. I tell them that they have to get their 3 distributors. Normally, I sign a lot of distributors and I can't keep them all on my top line. So if somebody's gotten 2 customers, I'm like, hey, I got you your first distributor. Like, let's go, let's run, let's get those other 2 DTs. And normally people are working on getting DTs before they even have their 6 customers. But I just make it so exciting. And I also have something in our team page that's like, it's the Ruby chart. It has the 6 customer boxes on it. So this Ruby chart is like this is your roadmap. You're going Ruby, but you're getting your 6 customers. You're checking off your 6 customers. You're checking off your 3 distributors. It shows the $150 bonus on each distributor box. So it's like you're getting your 6 customers, you're getting your 3, you're earning your 150, 150, 150 bonuses, and then you're going Ruby. And so it's just kind of like a roadmap to Diamond, but like a roadmap to Ruby in your first 30 days. Does that make sense? Does that answer your question?
That makes perfect sense. And yes, that absolutely does. So one more added on to it that I thought when you were talking was when you are, oh my gosh, it left my brain. I looked down at my notes and it left my brain. Oh my gosh.
I hate when that happens.
Yeah, it literally like was in there. I was so excited, and then I looked down and read what I wrote, and it like vanished. Okay, so that's what it is. Say you have someone and they're like, they are sending you screenshots. They sign their, best case scenario, right? They sign their 6 customers right away, and you're like, okay, now we're going to be making that transition to distributors. What is the first thing that you have them do when you're like, okay, shopping spree check, now we're moving on to your team? What are you having them do right away?
So definitely messaging. Normally if somebody's a go-getter and they're sending me screenshots right away, they're already getting on my 5:45 a.m. power hour or my Diamonds 8 a.m. power hour, my girl Lindsay. So they're normally probably already messaging for distributors, because I offer that power hour immediately as soon as they finish the power 30. If they're sending me screenshots and they're working hard for their customers, I start getting them on that power hour. And maybe some people may not agree with that because it's like, a full hour of like all the KPIs, but I feel like they're going to have to do it. So just act like it's normal. It's ready. Let's go. Let's do it. So they're normally already messaging for distributors. But if they're not, because I just haven't gotten to that, they haven't gotten on a power hour yet, or whatever the case is, I send them my distributor message, what I send out to people. And I tell them, go to your Instagram followers, just one by one, pick people. Don't think too hard about it. Just pick people. If somebody doesn't like it, they're not going to be mean to you. They're probably just going to say no thank you or not respond. Because truthfully, I really don't get a lot of naysayers. I know some people do, but I don't. I normally get people who are like, no thanks, I have a job, I'm good. And I'm like, okay, but girl, you're going to join me one day. And I keep just, interacting with them. But anyways, so I send them my message. I tell them, go to 15 people's pages. You're going to like 5 of their pictures, like a weirdo stalker, and you're going to comment on 3 of them, and you're going to tell them how much you love their hair or their shirt or their shoes or their whatever. Their kids are so cute. Like, whatever you actually genuinely like about their page, tell them in the comments. And so then they see you, like, they go on Instagram, and it's like their whole notifications is like, Brittany Cabrera, Brittany Cabrera, Brittany Cabrera. Like, who's this girl? And then they're going to get a message from you, and it's going to say, hey, I love your page, like blah, blah, blah. And it's like way more genuine than a cold message. So you've actually interacted with them. And then that's it. They literally do that. And that's what I do. So I'm just teaching them to do what I do, because I feel like when I first joined, I didn't have somebody telling me like how to get distributors. Like, it was just like, hey, you need to get 3 distributors to go Ruby. And I'm like, okay, but like, how do I do that? And nobody gave me a message, So me giving them that direct, like, this is what you send, this is what you do, now go do it, is like so helpful.
Yeah, I love that. I love that. Thank you so much for adding all of that. I'm sure that helps. So also, okay, so I think this is my my last little input. Cami mentioned in the chat, which thank you, Cami, for like stepping out of your comfort zone and putting it in the chat and stuff like that. I feel like if you did saw her what she said in the chat there, I mean, I figured that you pretty much how you would respond to that is basically what you already have said and like discussed. Like, one of the things maybe like with interacting and giving it time and stuff like that. Is there anything at all that you would have directed towards what she said in the chat at all?
Let me read it, because I actually didn't see it. I'm sorry, guys.
Oh, no, you're good. It was up a little bit while you were talking about something. But I feel like we all can feel like we're like in a space sometimes of like, oh, like what's going on? Sometimes it doesn't feel like it's moving as fast, and sometimes all it takes is like one little tweak in one little area, and then you're back on fire again,
Yeah, for sure. So 2 biggest things that I get from that when I read that is, 1, girl, you need to have confidence because you're gorgeous, and you just need to get out there and do the dang thing because you can. And you're doubting yourself, and self-doubt is like one of the biggest things that kills your business. And I know this because like I said, I had so many issues with just confidence in the beginning. I used to have hearts all over my head with Snapchat pictures, and it was awful. And like, nobody connects with, not a real person. So just be you and don't worry about it. Like, I know you said this is the first time you even showed yourself on Zoom, and like, I used to not show my face on Zoom trainings either. And I'm on Christy Christensen's team, and she has a huge team, and I would just be like, no girl, I'm not putting my face on there. I'm just gonna have the blank screen that says Brittany Cabrera. No, I'm good. I'm in my PJs. Now I'm in my PJs, my hair looks like this, and I have acne all over my face, and I don't care because that's who I am. And I know that I'm beautiful, and you have to get to that place with yourself, and it's going to take time, but you need to do that personal development, because that is what you're lacking. I can 100% tell you that is the personal development. You just said you're posting, you're messaging, you're doing all the things, but you're not getting results. And it's because you have to believe in yourself before anybody else can believe in you. So get yourself on some personal development and just go with it. And it's going to feel uncomfortable at first. Like, literally, this training is probably the first time that I didn't freak out all day before doing it. And I've been asked to be on Christy Christensen is like my upline's upline, and she's like the number 3 in the whole company. And I'm like super afraid of her because she's perfect. And like, every time she asks me to be on training, I literally almost poop myself every single time. And it's happened like I don't know, 5 times now. And a couple of other teams like Crystal have asked me like to be on their training, and it's no big deal. But I am such a nervous freak that I would sit there for the 24 hours before thinking like, oh my gosh, I don't want to do this. I might as well just tell them I'm not going to do it. It's fine. It's no big deal. I don't care if I look dumb. I'm not doing this. And my husband is so annoyed with me because I'm always having this like, I don't know what I should say. Like, can you just do the role play with me? But this time, 2 years into my business, I didn't freak out. I didn't think about it. I was just like, send me the questions. I looked over them today. I didn't even prep for this. And that is the first time I've ever done that. And it's because confidence comes with practice. You're not going to have confidence overnight. You're just going to do it, and it's going to feel uncomfortable, and you're going to feel like you suck, and you're going to feel like everyone's laughing at you, and everyone thinks you're a weirdo and you're crazy. And then one day you're just going to be like, wow, I'm pretty cool. You know, it's fine. It's no big deal. And then also just give it time. Like, if you're doing all the things, like, you just have to give it time. You can't expect it to happen overnight. And this isn't all things of life. It's not just this business. Anything you do in life takes time. You don't pop a baby out and, oh, I'm a mom, I'm good, I got everything, I know what to do for the next 18 years. Like, you're growing every single day, you're learning what to do, and something new is going to happen, and you're going to be like, wow, didn't expect that, don't know how to handle this, let me go to Google and figure it out. So what Google is for you in this business is your team page and your upline. Go to your upline and say, well, I don't know what to do, I need to figure it out. Ask them to help you. Don't be afraid. Don't feel like you're annoying. Like, I asked my upline so many questions for the first year in my business, not the first 2 months, the first year. I'm like, hey, I don't really know what to do here. This person said this. I'm pretty confused. I don't know. I didn't understand host to post for like the first 2 weeks. I'm like, yeah, I'm doing it, but don't really get it, you know? So just do it. Ask questions. Send your upline screenshots. And if you send them 30 a day and you feel annoying, I promise they are so happy that you are sending them screenshots because you are trying.
Oh my gosh. Mic drop to all of what you just said. I think that was a great ending for the call. So thank you. I'm sure all of us needed to hear all that, including myself. So I want to thank you so much for hopping on. I know your baby's teething and all that, and I know it ran a lot later than I planned to. So we appreciate you so much, and we got so many tips from you, and we are really excited to put those into practice and, you know, help our own businesses. So thank you so much for hopping on. Thank you, team, for hopping on and plugging in, because that is so important. And have a great night, everybody.
Bye. Thanks for having me, guys.